Attention all business owners. Are you tired of managing your finances and taxes on your own? Let the experts at 1-800 Tax Masters help. Our team of experienced professionals offers a range of services to help you keep your finances in order, from personal and business tax returns to monthly accounting, quarterly and annual tax planning, and virtual controller and CFO services. With our virtual services, you can get the support you need without ever having to leave your office. Don't let taxes and finances stress you out any longer. Visit www.1800taxmasters.com today and let us handle the numbers so you can focus on growing your business. And welcome to another live episode. I am your host, WIZE. I have a very special guest. It's 5 a.m. where she's at. So it's real early in the morning for her. Of course, it's 5 p.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. She has an amazing story. I'll let her tell it when she comes on. But welcome to the show, Le-an Lai Lacaba. Hello.
Hey guys, happy to be here.
Thank you for being on the show, especially the time that it is now where you're at. So thank you.
Yeah, happy to be here.
All right, so let's just jump right into this because you have an amazing story. Um, you've been an entrepreneur since you were 15 years old.
Essentially, probably a little bit younger. Like I remember selling homework services when I was 12, I think, or 11. But the significant one was when I was 15. So I think that's where that started.
Oh, okay, so tell us a little bit about your background and how you became interested in entrepreneurship and remote work.
So first part of my background is I am from the Philippines. I grew up eldest of four, so I and Asian also, which means basically that I had a lot of quote unquote responsibility already given. Being in charge of the house, whatever the parents were gone, and at the time, my dad was working overseas because here in the Philippines, if you want to earn good money at that time, you only had to work overseas. So I would only see my dad like once or twice a year. So when it came to entrepreneurship, my mom was a hustler. She had a full-time job that she liked doing, but also at the same time, anytime someone was says, my mom's name was Romana. Hey, Romana, do I have extra native bags? Would you want to sell them to your friends? Mom's like, yeah, sure. Or like, hey, we're doing this so and so event, and you host, will pay you. So for sure. So I remember that from very young. So that's kind of where I got my yes and attitude. So then when I was 15 years old, I here in the Philippines at that point we had a different educational system. At that point, I was already graduated high school. I was about to go in college, um, and it was one of those summers where I was just giddy. I was just excited to get started. So, and my parents just bought me my very, very first laptop. This was way back in 2011, so it was a big deal. And I was just exploring online. I created my own blog because blogging was a thing that I saw from someone. It was still Blogspot. And then from there, people started saying like, "Hey, I really like the way that you write. Can you go ahead and write for me?" So that was kind of how I got my first gig. Was just I just kept showing up. I was posting like twice a week. Again, bored and excited about college. It was a good combo. Um, and from there, I kept saying yes and like I didn't know how to set up PayPal. I didn't know how to keep doing this online. Or once I started college, I didn't know how to balance it with college and everything else. But I kept saying yes, and I got graphic gigs, video editing gigs. I started getting gigs in person as well to do like different events. Um, Basically, that very same yes and attitude. And then when I was 18, um, right as I was going to enter almost my last year of college, I went through a very horrific. Uh, there was a category 5 typhoon that came in through our city, which meant that there was a mini tsunami that came into our house because our house, literally, we know it that it was facing the ocean because it was right across the street and a little bit further down. But then I was downstairs as the eldest. I was taking care of everything else. I made sure everyone was upstairs. I was getting the groceries because I didn't know how long the water was going to be in the house. The water was up to my neck when I had the moment where I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be a gunner." And instead of my life flashing before my eyes the backwards part and the forward of the life, where I would have been a lawyer, would have followed my dad's path of having to work overseas, so I can bring back the bacon basically for my family. And I remember hating it. I don't want that life. So then I made a promise, like, hey, if we survive this, we're going to change everything. We're going to follow this writing path that we've discovered. We fallen in love with writing even more. Let's do this. So then when I did survive that somehow, I figure out how to publish my own book, which then led to this job in a publishing company because they saw that I was able to publish my own book. Became CEO of the publishing company when I was 20. Same yes and attitude of like when they said, "Hey, we're training someone to be this," and I was like, "Sure, I'll do it." And we're training someone to be CEO. I'm like, "Sure, I'll do it." And then when ran that company for about 3 years, when I was 23, I said, I want to be able to give opportunities to other Filipinos to be able to work from home so they don't have to leave their family. So they don't have to experience what I experienced. So then 2XU came about as a course first on how to hire a virtual assistant. And then one of our students said, "Hey, I love what you teach. Can you just do this for me?" So then it was turned from a product into service. 3.5 years later, we're growing. We have an amazing team of people, and that's kind of a lot of the story is just me saying yes and.
So what are your goals for two times due executive services?
So for Trixie, kind of the vision that I saw for it is that for people who need an executive assistant, that's the first primary service. But in the future, I plan to start multiple businesses around it. So like, of course, EA needs support when it comes to content creation or bookkeeping, or when it comes to just also depending on what the client needs, maybe web development services. So I plan to start mini businesses around 2XU, probably about 2 years from now. So then anytime that the client is like, "Hey, we need help on this," I'm like, "Oh yeah, we have an agency for that." So kind of like almost a one stop, but then making sure that it's clear that it's different businesses, not just all 2XU. So yeah, so then creating more and more jobs basically.
So so I see your goal. One of your goals is to help people from owning a job to actually owning a business. What makes your approach unique to doing this?
The thing people forget when there's solopreneur, like you're just starting out, you have no idea what you're doing, you've figured out, you're like 6 months in. The reality is, if you're still the one doing the delivery, if you're still the one doing like a lot of the
The heavy
back end
lifting, yeah.
and front end work, yeah, you're still owning a job. If you've quit your old job, but you've made your self a new job basically. So when it comes to owning a business, this is coming from the book like E-Myth by Michael Gerber, of like the difference is that you own systems. So that's where having your executive assistant come in, is that they will start building those systems with you. So then you're not the one doing both the back end and the front end. Someone else is doing the back end of like researching your clients or emailing them or going back and forth with them. And then eventually, then you start growing your team, because then you're looking for other specialists. So that's kind of the I always see executive assistants as a good turning point for that, because uh, as entrepreneurs, we never say like, "Hey, I need help myself." Like, no, no, my business needs help. But in actuality, you have to be the one freeing yourself up from the little jobs that you've put yourself in your business to give it to someone else, so then you can actually start growing.
Okay. Can you discuss some of the challenges and opportunities of outsourcing and delegating? Can help an entrepreneur effectively leverage to scale their business?
So the opportunities of it is almost like endless. It sounds very cliche and cheesy, but it's the reality of it. Like I am very much my own case study of, I like doing everything myself. I'm very independent. So it was weird for me to hire my first assistant when I was growing 2XE. It was very much that story of I was a plumber with leaky pipes. So like I was hiring all of these assistants for our clients, but I didn't have one myself. But I went through that experience of like, oh, now I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. Or getting to the point like, oh, now we can hire, marketing assistant. My assistant and I don't have to do that part because someone else can take care of it. So it was the small different steps of freeing yourself. And that happens anytime, even if you're not outsourcing. If you, of course, when you have your own business, just locally hiring people, it's the same process. But when you're outsourcing, You have, you can work anywhere, which is my has been my dream basically my whole life, is you can work. A month ago I was in Thailand. I was still able to fully work. I was in a different ish time zone than my peers, which is an hour, but it was still possible. It was able to do speaking gigs and do events, but at the same time, I have fully connected to my peeps. And then the other thing about outsourcing is you get talent that isn't in your area, like talent that's beyond where, the kind of people that you see every single day. Philippines. I love my country because people here are very much from Hamilton, a little bit of like young, scrappy, and hungry. Like we're especially since after the pandemic, we want to stay and take care of our kids. We have very much a family mindset. So being able to show up and do our best is one of the things that we love doing. So then when you're outsourcing, you're able to tap through those different markets. And I guess just the challenge is it is foreign if you've never done it before. For me, it's not as foreign because I've been doing it for 12 years of working from home. But that there is that changeover of trusting someone you've never seen in person, um, be able to do the work that you need to get done.
So, how do you feel remote work has transformed the business landscape, and what impact do you believe it will have in the future?
So as someone who's only been remote, like I've only had like a few in-person jobs or office jobs. I think the longest was like 3 months for an internship. It's I didn't like it. I was like, let me go back to my bedroom and work in my pajamas. Um, uh, it's it's not that it's even, I can't even say that's here to stay. I think it was just a natural evolution. Like it took a pandemic to take everyone to be able to like believe that it was a thing. I remember for a while whenever I told people like, oh yeah, I work online, either they thought I was a cam girl or I was a being a scammer to someone else. So then it took that pandemic like, oh no, it's actually that, no, it's a real job. And like, okay, so this is what working from home feels like. So it's just now been officially added as an option for people to be able
Mhm.
to work remotely. So it's now just a reality instead of something that again people thought that it was just a scam.
No, I've seen it, especially with myself, with how I'm able to have an interview with you, with me being here in the
Hmm.
States and you being in the Philippines.
Exactly.
This is something that a
Hmm.
lot of people weren't doing. This is so since the pandemic, this is platforms like this, StreamYard, Zoom, have really taken off because now you are able to interview people across the world. And now, so
Exactly. Hmm.
people I wouldn't have had access to, I have access to now. So now
Hmm.
I'm getting creators from all over the world coming on and talking about their experiences. And it's amazing because at the core of it all, a lot of us just want the same thing. A lot of us want that independence, that freedom to help
Yep.
support our family, help do what we have to do to be able to live the life that we want to live.
Hmm. Very true. And remote work kind of opened that up. But I always say also with like a disclaimer that work from home is not for everyone. Like some people
It's not.
need to
It's
be,
not.
yeah, need to be in an office to have that routine because it is, there's that discipline, there's that, building habits around yourself. There's making sure that, you actually get work done instead of just lying in bed watching Netflix for 8 hours a day. I've seen people who did struggle. Like we've, of course, everything for us and to excuse everyone work from home. But that also meant that I had to teach a lot of our hires or applicants, like, hey, this is how you can do it. Which is also one of the things that inspired my YouTube channel that I started during the pandemic of like how to work from home. So it's like we both agree like it's not for everyone, but it's a cool option to have.
It is. It's a great option to have, and it's allowed, like, again, it's allowed me to build some amazing relationships with people from that I've
Mhm.
never met in person,
Yeah,
but we built such a great relationship through camera, through video, through the conferencing. It's just amazing. Like one of my closest friends, he lives in Nashville. I've never met him in person, but we've been recording. We've been recording for over a year now, and we've built that relationship where he's actually one of my best friends, and it's just
Hmm.
amazing to be able to build that relationship the way we have.
Yeah, yeah. It's also not just introduce people to us, but we've been able to keep in contact. Like one of my best
Mhm.
friends is in Canada. They moved right before the pandemic started, and it's been kind of just interesting. Like anytime I would see my messenger light up, they're calling. They're like, I have another. My other best friend is another island. So it's fun that we are able to and have that contact continuously instead of just having to rely to what's here and what's local and what's nearby us.
Yeah. So as an international speaker, what are some of the most important insights and lessons you share with your audience?
So the main parts that I do talk about is exactly like how to hire an assistant, how to leverage having an assistant. The other side of it, um, the geeky side of me, loves talking about content. Because of course it's my bread and butter. Literally ever since I started this whole thing, so I talk about how to repurpose your content. I call myself a content monster. So that's whenever it comes to creating content, I always tell people you need to have three different topics you have in your back pocket. One, the topic that helps other people that you're an expert in. Two is a topic that educates people in some way, and three, something for fun. And that something for fun for me is content.
Oh yeah, no, it's I love being able to do my show. I love what I do. I love being able to share other people's stories and share what other people are doing out there. And hopefully
Hmm.
the audience gets some benefit from it, enjoy the content, and it's fun. It to me it's my therapy. It's what allows me
Hmm.
to come on here and be myself and actually learn and grow from people like yourself and be able to listen to you speak and talk about how you started your business and how you can
Hmm.
it's inspiring to hear people from all over the world talk about their stories, and everybody has an amazing story. It's just that
Hmm.
it's just some people just don't aren't willing to share it. I'm glad you are willing to share your story and your journey.
Thank you. It's content creation started out as this weird thing where people were like oversharing online, but it's evolved a lot. People still overshare, but then it's become this way for people to connect and not just hear from these famous, already successful people, but people who are just a few steps ahead of you who you can then follow the path that they've set.
Yeah. So you talked about your YouTube channel. How has it
Mhm.
been doing your channel? How is it what are the things you love about doing it?
So the funny thing is, I am not anymore a massive introvert. I'll just say I'm a mild introvert. But when I started, I was a massive introvert. I would stutter a lot. I would have to start and stop the video. And I started right before the pandemic. I think I started December 2019, so literally right before. Um, and it was part of it was a lot of people started asking me like, hey, how do you work from home? Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do your setup? What books or courses do you recommend that I get started in? So it started out as that, and it's kind of evolved into part of it now is I do videos not just on how to work from home, but how to have your business from home. So currently, right now, the series I'm doing on my YouTube channel is how to use Chat GPT for your marketing, operations, so on and so forth. How you use the right prompts to be able to actually help your business rather than you playing around asking ChatGPT therapy questions. So it's been for me it's not fun. Like I record 20 minutes in a day or 40 minutes in a week, basically it's twice a week. Someone else takes care of the editing part. They turning it into content for Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere else. And I only this is funny also. I don't ever watch my own videos or interviews just like this one. I just trust that whenever it's up on YouTube, my assistant has looked through it and made sure I don't look weird or funny. But the content creation itself part has been fun because then I get comments like, "Oh, this has really helped me with this one thing I was really struggling with," or "Hey, didn't even know that existed. Thank you so much." So it's been a good way that I can see that I'm helping people, which is the goal, is to help a lot of Filipinos work
Yeah.
from home. So yes, it's been fun.
Awesome. Um so For me, it's been great to be able to. You mentioned Chat GPT. I
Hmm.
love Chat GPT. It's
Oh
been a
yeah.
game changer. It's been a game changer, honestly. It's been able to help me really structure my show the way I feel.
Hmm.
It's still the same way that I've been doing it, but it's got a little bit more structure to it. I've been able to use ChatGPT to create descriptions, SEOs, things, marketing things that you need for your podcast, and
Hmm. I
it's
imagine
been a
so.
blessing. Oh, it's been amazing. It's been able to. It's helped me so much. It's helped me
Hmm.
really with how I really, because before I wouldn't say I didn't have a structure to the show, but now I
Hmm.
really kind of do have a structure. I know I really do. I've focused more on really getting in-depth questions and asking to get some great questions and all that. So it's helped me in that manner. So I love it. I
Yep.
use it all. I use it all the time. I've gotten some ideas from it, and what people think it's not. People think, oh, it's going to replace you. No, it's a tool to be used to help you if you're marketing or whatever it is. It's a tool to be used. It's not
Hmm.
it's not something that is going to take somebody's job away. If you
Oh
use
yeah.
it properly,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's a I see it as exactly as how you said, it's a tool, and just like any tool, it's a multiplier to who you are. So
Mhm.
if you have no idea what that is, then of course ChatGPT will multiply nothing.
Yeah.
But if you know, like, hey, I am a podcaster, I produce so much content, can you help me, repurpose this? Can you help me, make sure that this is SEO friendly? I'm targeting this keyword, and it rewrites everything for you.
Mhm.
Someone said it funny the other day of like, chat gpt is like an employee that you hire but you don't have to pay for them, and they won't quit for you. That's kind of a funny way someone said it the other day, but it is a tool. It's a way for you to again multiply yourself in that way.
Oh no, it has been a game changer, and it's funny
Mm,
because I, my friend told me about this in November. He told me about
mhm,
ChatGPT in November, and I didn't really mess with it. And then I went to Podfest in January, and shout out to Larry Roberts because he had a great track on. He had a great presentation on ChatGPT, and since
mhm,
then I've really been on it. I've been really using it with a lot of things. Using it for my other show, using it to actually help me set up topics for Mindset Mondays, which is something that I'm going to start pre-recording and releasing
mhm.
separately, probably through Patreon or something else. But it's been amazing. Like you said, if you know how to use it properly, if you put in the right prompts, you put in the right words, the right keywords, it's going to give you what you need.
Oh yeah. And for like us to excuse, like when I first came across it like December, right as it was like hitting the 1,000 users mark, I was like, oh, I can see why for someone in my industry they would panic, like, oh, they're gonna replace virtual assistants, gonna replace, you don't have to do outsourcing work because then AI will do everything for them. But then I saw it as an opportunity for our EAs to, hey, what tasks do you not like doing that we can then have the AI do. So then for us, like we've collected, I think we're close to like almost 1,000 prompts now of what they've been using and what for what tasks. Just because like then for future EAs that we hire, then they have that this really cool playbook of like, hey, if you're stuck on email management or you need a template or you need answer to this and this. Here's like different prompts you can throw into ChatGPT. Here's how to use it. So then it becomes that this a powerhouse for a lot of people who struggle with different things day to day, or not even struggle, even if like I love writing, but for times I want ChatGPT to rewrite the my whole post that I just rewrote based on what it knows how I write. So then it sounds even more me than me, even though I
Yeah.
originally wrote it. Things like that. Like it enhances and multiplies you in that way.
No, it does. It again, it's a tool to be used, and if you use it properly, it'll be a game changer for you. It'll help you. It'll
Hmm.
help you in so many different ways, and so to be able to use it and use it correctly and and again, not be afraid to use the tools that are there for you, because people don't
Yep.
take advantage of sometimes of opportunities, and to me, it's a great opportunity.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so discuss the impact that two XU has had on your community, your local community, and how has it helped the Filipino workforce.
For 2XU itself, it's for a lot of our employees that we've hired, they now then know that work from home, how to get started exists. And also for a lot of what we do is we help give structure to a lot of our peeps. Like, hey, this is, same thing that I was teaching people. Like, this is how you can create habits. This is how you wake up. You make sure that you're doing this and this and this. It's then coaching them and giving them that. And for me, like, I see that as a here in the Philippines, once the mother or the eldest sister knows how to do something, everyone else in the family knows how to do it. We just have that, like, hey, I'll teach you how to do this. So that's kind of the impact that I've seen is like for a lot of the moms or the older sisters that we've hired, they're starting to teach their younger sibling or their, you know, fifth cousin is like, hey, I saw that you work from home. How do you do this? So that's kind of the impact that I want to keep spreading and sharing. And that I've also seen for reals of how it's been impacting a lot of other people because it gives them that um, hey, have I heard about working from home? How does it actually work? They're like, oh yeah, no, I work from home. I have this business that I work with, and this is how we do it. This is how they're showing up. Plus, we're giving like training, we're giving them insights, we're giving them also kind of a mini community. When you work from home, it can be really hard to uh, get out and have social life basically. So one of the things that we do is, once a month we either fly people in here or we have like a just we share we have a lunch together with everyone else to kind of get out of the house that feeling. Once a year we do fly in everyone else. We go to the beach house somewhere. So it's building small steps like that of like figuring out what does the work from home uh, culture look like for us, and it's been kind of fun.
I can imagine being able to do something that has such an impact on your community, and like you said, you really want to help your Filipino peeps be able to succeed and learn how to work from home, and because it's because the Filipino people, just like the Hispanic people here, we're all about family. To us,
Hmm.
family is very important, and so to be able to help your family grow, and that's what your people in your island are. They're your family. So to be any way
Hmm.
you can help them grow and help them succeed, it's a great accomplishment.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, very, very, very much. So and then it becomes kind of this generational thing. The next generation only knows that their parent has been working from home. They don't know anything else. So then it becomes their new normal, and so on and so forth.
Yes. Yes. Oh man, this has been great, man. I've loved being here. What okay,
Yeah.
so this is a question I've been asking everyone lately on this show. How do you measure success in your personal and professional life, and what motivates you to keep growing and learning?
Um, so how I measure success is when, and this is kind of the bare minimum version. I'll talk about like the actual when I feel it. The bare minimum version is when I don't wake up feeling anxious. Like I know, like okay, I'm good because of course when I wake up anxious, a lot of other things are probably going on. But my ultimate measure of it is just when I can get it in flow. I could have two clients, I could have 10 clients, I could have 20, 50 clients. We're currently very close to 20 at the moment. More closer to 30 as well. But it's when I remember when we did have we got to a point where we scaled really fast. I burnt myself out and I was like, okay, this is not what success is. It's then when I can get into flow. It's then when I have the right team behind me. It's then when I can focus on the things that needs to be focused on, not because they're on fire, but because I choose to focus on them. So it's kind of the different ways that I've defined it. And for what motivates me, um, it used to be that what motivated me was like, hey, I didn't die, let me keep going. That kind of was the used to be the motivation, but now it's become this like, hey, I want to be, the model that people see. I want to fail fast and a lot, because then I can become, or I can create this model where people can skip the mistakes that I did. So still very much the older sister thinking of like, let me lead the way for my siblings so they don't have to make the mistakes that I did. So for when it comes to working from home or starting an agency or having a business all the way from scratch, I want to be that person who's like three, four, five, only five levels ahead of people, not all the way, Elon Musk, so they can see the pathway that's been set, and then it makes it easier for them to follow it as well.
And that's why I started my production company, is because I wanted to be able to help people who want to launch a podcast launch it
Mhm.
and avoid the pitfalls that I went through. Because when I started, I didn't know anyone who was podcasting. So I had to learn it
Yep.
myself. I had to learn about creating titles, creating descriptions, creating thumbnails,
Hmm.
learning how to edit, learning how to do edit audio, video, how to use Canva. I love using Canva.
Yep.
Just just being able to grow and learn from it. And now to where I'm at now, it's was only made sense to me to really start showing other people how to do this without going through the, like I said, the pitfalls that I went through.
Yeah. Yeah. You're what you've kind of done is you're kind of setting up other people for success,
Yeah,
which is amazing, because you know how hard it is to have to figure out and get things yourself. So then you're making sure no one else has to go through the same thing that you went through.
absolutely, definitely. Um, yeah, and this has been great. I know it's early in the morning for you, so I don't want to really keep you much longer,
Mhm.
but this has been awesome. I appreciate you coming on the show. But now is the part of the show where you get to plug away. Let everybody know where they can find you. Let me put you on the solo screen, and here you go.
Yeah, so to be able to find me, I am literally everywhere. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Also have that YouTube channel. If you're interested in getting an executive assistant with us, we have a whole cool, very cool scorecard that we have on our website, 2xu.com, to see if you're ready for an assistant. But other than that, I'm available literally almost everywhere. I'm also on TikTok, which means everywhere.
All right. Don't leave just yet. We're gonna chat a little bit off the air. But before I close out the show, I just wanna so my nephew published a book last year. We published his book last year. Like you said, you're a self-published author yourself. We've learned how to publish his book and we did it ourselves. Um, and this is using Chat GPT.
Very cool.
I created a video, a little promo video for him, and I just want to play it right quick. So here we
Yeah.
go. Everyone has a story, but few have the power to change lives. Introducing The Plush Life, From Prison to Peace, by Anthony J. Gonzalez with Pepper Chambers. A journey of redemption and transformation. Follow Anthony's raw and honest story as he finds new purpose in life, turning his darkest moments into a guiding light for others. This inspiring story will take you through Anthony's journey, showing you that it's never too late to change your path and embrace your true potential. Don't miss the life changing tale of redemption and the power of the human spirit. Get your copy today of The Plush Life, From Prison to Peace on Amazon and iBook, and witness the incredible power of transformation. So yeah, so ChatGPT gave me the prompt, like, put this video, this insert here, insert a video of this, a picture of this or that. I'm like, it just mapped it
Yep.
out for me. So
Incredible.
I was able to create his ad, and I'm proud of it. I love it. I got to voice it over. I got to now he's like, oh, so now I need you to do the audio book.
You've kind of gone through a service rabbit hole right there.
No, but it's my nephew, it's family, so I most definitely need to get on
Mhm.
it and record the audiobook for him. So audiobook is coming out soon, everybody. But again, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it. But don't leave just yet. Let me just close out the show right quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Very. This was very fun. I liked a lot of the questions and the stories that we shared.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I loved having you on the show. All right.
Thank you so much for
So
having me.
now now let's shout outs. Let's do the shout outs. Big shout outs to everybody in the chat who came through and showed some love. Cece, what's going on? Facebook user, it's either Obaimi or Corrado. One of the two. I know one of the two always coming by showing me some love. Shout out to my man Hawk TV. What's going on, brother? Big Ben, what's going on? The owner and manipulator of the BS3 network. What's going on? Snowman, what's going on, my brother? How you doing? And the BS3 network, which we're airing right now live on the BS3 network, as well as Real Wise TV and Stuck in My Mind YouTube channel. Big shout out to my Real Wise fam, Poppy J, Brandy J, love you guys. Big shout out to the boss lady, love you and appreciate you, baby. Big shout out to my guest, Le-an Lai Lacaba, for coming through and sharing her amazing story. And as always, a big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless y'all. Be safe. You know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.